I'm Tina. I'm one of Brittany's coaches, and today we're going to work on emotional eating. And first, a little bit of housekeeping. So if you've been here before, you probably know this already. This meeting is being recorded, and you will find the recording within a couple of days in your membership area on our website or in the app under my tapping circle. And there you have a whole archive of old calls grouped by year. And this is where this one's going to go. If you get an error message or some message saying recording to local device is not enabled or something like that, that only means you cannot record to your hard drive, but it is recording to our cloud. So no need to worry, the recording will be there. I would like you to keep your microphones muted while we are tapping, just so we don't have so much background noise. If you like to talk to me and ask a question or share something, I'd like you to keep that to a little bit of talking in the beginning or after the tapping, so that we don't have a full question and answer session right in the middle of it, because I want you to keep within the container of whatever you're working on. Yeah, that's pretty much the most important part. If you want to talk to me, you can raise your hand. The virtual hand under Zoom is on the computer at the bottom. There's either an icon that says raise hand, or sometimes it's under reactions and then raise hand. If that doesn't work for you and you don't find it and you're willing to turn your camera on, you can also wave at me with your real life physical hand. And if you don't want to do that either and you really need to talk to me, you can also unmute yourself. But again, I would like you to ask, do this in the beginning or the end. And I see we already have one hand up. Anna, please go ahead. Did I mention my name already? I am Tina. And I'm happy to see so many faces. A lot of ones I know already, and welcome to whoever might be new here. Anna?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question. The thing is, with emotional eating, I know that you have to push the food away, but my problem is that I don't have a particular food that I want to push away, because I go to the refrigerator and I choose any food just to fill my mouth. Let's see, my mouth. But it's any food, could be an apple, could be this, could be that. So how can I push the whole refrigerator away, or what should I do?
Yeah, usually we work one food at a time. So the hallmark of emotional eating is that it's usually not one specific food, meaning you will open the refrigerator door and take the next best thing. Of course, if you're a chocolate junkie and chocolate is your thing and you have chocolate in your refrigerator or in your pantry, that's probably the first thing you go to. But if there's no chocolate, probably anything else will do. So basically, you just grab a food that you feel like in the moment. I mean, if you open the refrigerator, I'm assuming you pick one thing first and you don't dive into the whole buffet of everything at once. However, if you feel like you want to eat everything at once, you can also push the refrigerator away. Basically, the whole point of doing this is to deny ourselves the food. Because what's emotional eating? Well, it's basically we use food to get away from a negative emotion, right? If you're stressed, if you're bored, if some old memory, sadness, anger, whatnot is triggered, then we want to eat to stuff down our emotion. And the thing is, that works, right? At least for a little bit. That's why we eat. So we kind of numb out and we don't have to feel that uncomfortable emotion. But the key is to work and clear whatever memory is underneath. We need to feel that emotion. And so basically denying yourself the food, not eating it, is the trick. If you have it in front of you on the table and you physically push it away, or if you stand in front of the refrigerator and the denying yourself the food looks like closing the refrigerator door again, doesn't matter. As long as you don't allow yourself to eat the food while you feel the desire for the food and allow the uncomfortable feelings to come up. So yeah, if you feel like it would be a good thing for me to sit in front of my refrigerator today, go ahead, take your chair, get into the kitchen, we can absolutely do that. I mean, I have multiple times on my journey stood in front of the refrigerator, opened it, stared into it, decided, okay, I should tap, closed it again, and went tapping. That was kind of the pushing the food away. You don't always have to grab the food. As long as you feel the desire and you deny yourself the food so that your body, your system has time to bring up the emotions you want to work on, then it's all good. I hope that answers that
Thank
question.
you. Yeah,
Now,
thank you so much.
if I
Yeah,
can clarify.
and I have to leave early, so don't worry.
Okay, yeah, if you need to get
Okay,
out early, just leave the
okay,
meeting. No
okay.
worries. You get the recording, you can
Thank
come
you.
back. Okay,
Thank you.
Sydney, come on.
Yes. Hi, Tina. So there's often a lot of grief. The times when I am emotional eating, it's like it's generally the same kind of grief feeling, grieving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still layered in with like some craving foods.
Yeah.
But it's been challenging to parcel that out. What's my question? So
You
it's
basically want to know how to separate the two when they're kind of intertwined.
yeah, and it's generally the same. It's like always craving sweets, always emotionally eating sweets.
Yeah.
So yeah, how to separate them. It just
Okay.
seems like there's like
Yeah.
100 layers still.
Yeah, I understand. It can be tough in the beginning when you feel like you tap on one food and there's 100 more, and it's
Yeah,
kind of like interchangeable. That basically just means keep working it. You basically eventually get over the threshold where you feel, oh, that one food I tapped on, I don't crave no more. I only have 99 others left. That's a win. We
yeah.
celebrate that.
Okay.
It's one step at a time. What to do when you have grief and cravings? Well, cravings is basically the other big thing we can have with food that is going towards a positive emotion, towards positive memories. For example, if you used to bake chocolate chip cookies with your grandma, you might go and eat the chocolate chip cookies to remember the good times and all the love you got from your grandmother. Now, if your grandma has passed away, this might be intertwined with the grief about not having your grandma anymore. So in this example, we have a positive emotion that would be cravings. For this, we use the ball of light. We basically imagine eating the cookies with grandma and sharing all the good feelings wrapped up in this ball of light between her heart and your heart. Now, if there's the grief there, that would be more push the food away echo tapping situation where we go into the memory, we step inside our little one's body, we feel the feelings, we say what needs to be said. If both comes on at the same time, check which one is stronger, the positive emotion, connection with grandma, or the grief about grandma passing, and start with that. And you can switch techniques on the way. This is
Okay.
not an absolute prescription. You have to do it exactly like it said in the recording or in the lesson. This is a toolbox, right? You can pick up a hammer, put the hammer in, but if you need to pull the pliers to get the nail back out, you can pick up another tool. So if you start,
Right.
for example, with the grief, you do the echo tapping technique, you process the grief, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I miss my grandma so much, and I feel all this love for my grandma, and it's in this cookie. Then you can basically switch over to the ball of light. Do that for a little bit, and when then whatever grief, sadness, something else comes on, you can switch back to the other technique. It's basically mix and match as needed.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Also, in general, if you can somewhat separate, for me, I find it easiest to first deal with the cravings, get kind of the positive connection out of the system. That makes it a little bit easier to get to the emotional eating and the negative stuff. Because if you have both going, you kind of can use the positive feelings to mask and hide the negative ones, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's really helpful. Yeah, it does. Cool.
And then if you have time, if you can separate it into 2 sessions, you do cravings first one, and then another day do the emotional eating one. That's, if you can separate it, that's a good idea. But as I said, you can mix and match, switch back and forth. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah, the emotional eating, negative emotion also usually doesn't matter what kind of food. Craving, positive emotion, and usually it's a very specific food. So in our example, it would be grandma's chocolate chip cookies or any cookie that's similar, meaning an oatmeal raisin cookie wouldn't do the trick, and a can of beans definitely wouldn't do the trick, but it would for the emotional eating usually.
Right. Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, very helpful.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Thank you. Okay, I see Iman's iPhone. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. So what I is amongst many I struggle with restriction, timing
You're
of
cutting
eating
out a
food.
little bit. Your audio is very choppy. Can you maybe try turn your video off? That might improve the audio. I love seeing you, but this might make it easier to listen. Go ahead.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, no, it's better. Thank you.
Sweet. Okay. So I struggle with restriction and poor time management as well when it comes to eating. So I find it hard to distinguish between, like, my body needs these calories, I kind of have to like eat them, and emotional eating. So I find that I tend to overeat at the wrong times, but I also restrict at the same time. So may I have some advice for like how to proceed with the tapping if I'm like hungry, or if I don't know if I'm hungry, that kind of thing?
Yeah, when you have problems sensing your hunger cues and you're not quite sure, we recommend to basically to give yourself fixed meals at set times. So, for example, do a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We usually recommend 3. However, you can make it 4 or 5 smaller portions if that works better for you. The important part is that you plan your meals, what you're going to eat, and what time you're going to eat it. And that should be about the same time each day. I mean, if it's a little bit different, for example, on the weekend because you get up later, that's okay. But basically, this does 2 things. It trains your body that there is food in regular increments, basically. It's that you won't starve it for a really long time. Your body can rely on you to be fed, to be fueled. And that might also help to train your hunger cues because they kind of start to follow that set pattern after a while. For example, if you do your 3 meals a day and one day you have something to do and you can eat later, you might notice, oh, there's a little hole in my stomach, probably I'm hungry. And then you basically try to make it balanced meals. So this means proteins, fats, and carbs for each meal, if possible. And whenever you want to eat in between those meals, this is when you do the tapping, because that then is most likely the emotional eating. Because we basically set our rhythm, we train our hunger signals, and we also say, okay, my body knows fueling time is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when in the afternoon you're getting very snack curious and you go for the chocolate, you know that's the time to tap. Or for example, after dinner, when you have a sweet tooth or you want something crunchy, go for some potato chips. That's when you know that's the time to tap.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. All right, we have 2 more hands up. Let's see. Can I ask you to hold your questions until after the tapping? Because this is a tapping session and not a Q&A. Unless it's absolutely related to only emotional eating, push the food away. So Nicole, do you have okay, last question here. Let's make it quick. Oh, I see Corey also. Yeah, let's do it quickly.
Okay, quickly, what it is the emotional eating. I think I caught your thing about pushing the fridge away. I'm constantly go to the fridge when I want to know whether it's a triggered emotional eating that I'm doing. So, say if my partner goes upstairs to bed, straight away I start to get hungry, and then I come in and I don't know what I fancy. I don't even want to eat. Sometimes I'm full and I'm like, well, what do I want? I don't want anything. Well, I don't want the chocolate anymore that I've got in because I've tapped that away. But I want something. So yeah, it's great.
Okay, that's a win. Yeah, there will be this weird time where you're looking for something, but nothing looks good because you tapped on everything. That's a normal thing. Don't worry about it. That usually you could go into working self-sabotage, which is not today's topic. That's basically
Okay.
the inner rebel that says, I want the food just because I can, and fuck you with your stupid eating rules.
Okay. Yes.
Basically, how we tap for that is you tap in, you just throw a temper tantrum and give that little rebel girl inside of you a voice, and you're like, but chocolate, and I can have it, and if I want to eat 5 bars, I will, and go on like that.
Okay, thank you. I just wasn't sure whether it was emotional eating.
Yeah,
I
mean, you can try to do the push the food away. Emotional eating is also usually triggered by whatever memory we uncover in the process. So basically, you lead me to a little extension of what I already said. I explained the emotional eating versus the cravings. Those are the two big techniques we use with the food. However, if you push the food away, there's a third possibility, which is you don't get a negative emotion or memory, you don't get a positive emotion or memory, you get that little rebellious voice that says, fuck you, I just want to eat my food just because you can and you can't tell me not to.
Even when I'm not hungry.
That,
yeah.
That's the rebel, and we give it a voice. However,
Thank you.
details on that would be in the self-sabotage tapping circle.
Okay.
I hope
Thank you
this
so
helps. Okay, then Corey, last one before we get into the tapping.
I just want to make sure that I'm in the right group for this. I'm feeling, I think it's emotional eating because it feels like it's emotional consumption, right? I want to tap on my social media usage today. And it feels like this almost like deep disconnect from myself, but like also like I'm starting with all the tapping that I've been doing, I'm starting to feel like a deep underlying like loneliness and isolation. And I just want to make sure that this is the tapping circle that I can use that for.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, you can use echo tapping for any behavior that you want to stop. In this case, you just imagine denying yourself doing the behavior. So for you, you would push your phone away or your social media away, your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. And basically imagine closing the phone, turning off the phone, and you tell yourself no more social media for today. And then you listen for the uncomfortable feelings to come up. You could do this for shopping addiction. You just deny yourself going the shopping. You close Amazon and all the things, and you're like, no, I'm not going into the city center and I go shopping today. And I'm not going to do this tomorrow or the rest of the week, and you notice what comes up. So basically, you deny yourself whatever you want to do, and you listen for the negative feelings. That's basically echo tapping in the broader sense. Push the food away. We usually use synonymous with echo tapping, but that's basically just a special case of echo tapping applied to food. But you can use it for anything else. If you have a behavior that you are avoiding, for example, you procrastinate on cleaning your house, doing the taxes, getting the dog to the vet, whatever it is, you can do the same thing. You're trying to avoid the action, then you imagine yourself doing the action. Or for example, speaking in public. You imagine getting on stage and talking in front of people. And then this will bring up the negative emotions. So basically, you do just the opposite of what you want to do. If you want to eat, you don't eat, you push the food away. If you want to shop, you say no more shopping. If you want to get out of social media, you say no more social media. If you say, oh, I don't want to clean my house, imagine cleaning your house. If you don't want to speak in public, imagine speaking in public. Does that make sense? You always imagine doing the opposite because that's what will trigger you. Okay, that was a nice little package explaining the techniques and the differences. But now we also have some tapping to do because that's what we came for. So for the emotional eating, if you have food or whatever you want to push away, be it the refrigerator or your Instagram account, get that ready. And if you don't have any food or anything ready to go, you can always imagine the last time you binged. Be it last night, last week, put yourself back into that situation, imagining the food you ate back then. That also works, for example, if right now, for most of you in the US, it's lunchtime, you're not emotionally eating at lunch, but you do it at dinner, so you might not be super triggered right now. Then also think yourself back to the last time you were triggered and you were emotional eating. So you might think back to always the same time. We had the example of, oh, when my husband goes to bed, then I'm raiding the refrigerator. So put yourself in your mind in that situation. Imagine your husband going upstairs or going to bed and feel into what's usually happening there. So, ready to go, ladies? If you have your food, get it out in front of you and you can smell it. You can maybe taste a little bit and feel in how much do you want the food. On a scale from 0 to 10, where 10 is, oh my God, I want to inhale the whole package right now. And 0 is, oh, I don't care, I could just put it back in the fridge. If you don't have food, imagine the food in the situation you're usually triggered, and you're very welcome to share your numbers and insights in the chat. I will keep one eye on the chat, but when I'm coaching and I'm watching your faces and pacing the whole thing, I might not catch everything that's said there. So if it's important, I'd like you to talk to me again in the end. Okay, so rate your desire for the food. And we want to have the desire for the food pretty high. So a 4 or 5 will work. If it's just a 2, we might need to bump it up a little bit. So do your best to really take in the food, not eat it, but smell it, look at it, feel the desire, get it up there. And then push the food or the refrigerator or your phone away. If you have physical stuff in front of you, push it out on the table in front of you, or if you're working with a memory virtually, imagine pushing the food away, and you can still use your hands and push out in front, even if you're imagining your food. And tell you, no, I'm not eating that, or I'm not opening the fridge, I'm not opening social media, I'm not doing it right now. And there might be a little tiny voice in the back of your head that says, well, maybe not now, but wait till after the call, then I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna do it later today. Tell that voice, no. Not later today, not in the evening, not tomorrow, not for the rest of the whole week. We are not eating this, we are not doing this. And see what uncomfortable emotions are coming up. If it helps you, you can tap the karate chop point to tune in. And just find that uncomfortable feeling in your body that screams, oh my God, I want that food, I want that food, I need that food. Give me my food. Where's that feeling in your body? And can you maybe already name the emotion? And it's possible that it just feels like general anxiety. Anxiety is usually a cover up for anything uncomfortable that's underneath that we don't want to look at. Where does it live in your body? How big is it? How strong does it feel? You can also give that feeling a number and see if it's the same as the desire for the food or if it's different. And then allow yourself to feel that feeling. And usually we don't like to do that, but just sit with it for just a couple seconds. And you can Switch to tapping through the points and allow your body to take you back in time. Have you felt like this before? Does this feel familiar? Brittany always asks, how old do you feel? That might work for some people, but I always feel pressure being asked how old I am, because for me personally, that's the last thing I notice about a memory. But see if there's like an image flashing up in your mind's eye, or like a little movie clip, or maybe you can't stop thinking about a certain person or place or situation. And it might also be that there isn't a real memory coming up, but just a general feeling. You can stick with a feeling, or it might be something that your mind makes up. That sometimes happens like in a dream, where our brain just gives us some images that are not real, but they depict the emotional situation that's going on. Whatever it is, whether you think it's real or not, go with the first thing that comes up. And just feel it. And watch it as you keep tapping through the points. And can you see your younger self in that situation? And you can check, usually our younger self appears somewhere outside of us, in front of us, but sometimes it also happens that you're already inside of her body and kind of standing in the middle of the big mess. Just notice. If you're already inside of her, that's all good. Stay where you are. If you see your younger self in front of you, can you walk up to her? We want to help our younger self. So your job is to get close to her. And notice if this works or if there's some resistance. Is this difficult? Or does it even feel impossible? All of that is absolutely okay. If it feels difficult, just feel the difficulty. And notice how you know it's difficult. Maybe it feels like you're glued to the ground, or you're walking through molasses, or there's like a wall between you and your younger self, or like a window. Just notice that. And then see if you can get a little bit closer, one step at a time. And then when you're close enough, check if your younger self can see you and hear you and recognizes you. And if you're new to this, she might not. She might have a look of surprise on her face and go like, who are you and what the fuck do you want? Let that be okay. Just see how she reacts. If she's skeptical, let her know, yep, this is absolutely okay. This is a little bit weird. I am you coming from the future, and that sounds totally cuckoo. And that's okay, and you don't have to trust me, but I'm here to help you. And if she's happy to see you, see if she maybe needs a hug. And then, can you step inside of your younger self's body? And maybe you need to shrink yourself down to be able to step in. You have full permission to make that happen. And also here, notice, is it easy to step inside of her body? Are you already in there? Or maybe it's difficult and you're stuck with like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Just notice if there's some resistance, how that feels, and keep tapping. And then if it's difficult, after a few breaths of tapping, try again and see if you can get inside of her body. And if you are inside of her, looking through her eyes, look around where you are. Do you recognize the place? Do you recognize the people? What's going on? And if for your life of it, you cannot get inside of her body, that's no big deal either. Just stay outside of her as your adult self. We can have our adult self here helping our younger self. In either case, look around. See the scene, see the situation, and if there's other people in it, we're going to freeze them. So you can basically put some tranquilizer drops in their drink, or you can shoot them with a tranquilizer dart, and they're freezing, meaning they can hear you, but they can't talk and they can't move. And maybe if they're still intimidating and scary, you can move them a little bit further away. Do whatever you need to do to make the situation safer. So if you need to chain those people to the refrigerator, you have permission to do that. If you need to put them behind jail bars, if you need to move them 200 feet away, you can do that. If that's still too much, you can try to make your little movie black and white. Yeah. And feel what your younger self is feeling in that situation. Can you identify the emotion? We already have some anger, angry and deprived here. Mom didn't let me eat anything from the fridge. Yeah, absolutely. What's that emotion you're feeling? Can you name it? And can you rate it on a scale from 0 to 10? Yeah, lonely. I had no control. Absolutely. Good ones, ladies. And just keep tapping as you feel that emotion, as you keep seeing that scene in front of you. And as you allow that emotion to be in your body, watch it and notice. What do you notice? Did that emotion change already? Do you notice maybe that you're yawning, or maybe some tears are flowing down your cheeks? Or maybe there's a little bit of a sigh, or your shoulders relax a little bit. Notice that. But also it is possible that your emotion is going up in the beginning, because we've been suppressing it for so long, right? We didn't want to look at it, and now we're basically pulling it out in the open. So if your numbers go up in the beginning, that's perfectly okay. So check in with your emotion. How strong was it in the beginning, and where are you now? Feel free to share in the chat. And let's take a little break here. So stop the tapping, and if you have your eyes closed, you can open them. And let's just shake it out. Maybe you want to shake your head, maybe you need to shake your legs, maybe you need to stomp on the floor, maybe you want to stretch, big stretch. Maybe you need to get up and walk around your chair 3 times. Go for it. Oh, shoulder rolling, neck stretch, also good. Also check if you need to have some water. I need some tea. It's important to stay hydrated. And also it's a good idea if you have a big echo, a big memory coming up, to take these little breaks to come back to the present moment, shake it out, have a sip of water, and basically reconnect with your surrounding. Because if we go in and out, that also helps the processing and the clearing. So the clearing goes faster compared to we stay in the memory for the whole hour without stop. So, cheers, ladies. And for the moment, feel your feet on the floor. And whatever part of your body is in contact with the surroundings. So this could be your butt on the chair or a sofa. Or I'm sitting on a yoga pillow. Maybe your back is resting against the backrest. Feel that contact. And notice your breath for a moment without changing it. And notice if maybe you're breathing faster or more slowly than you were before. Notice your temperature. Did you maybe get a little hot or cold from the tapping? Lots of pain in my neck when trying to tap the anger away. Yeah, our body can respond. I hope usually there's physical sensations that might come on as a response to a negative emotion, and they usually fade by the end of the tapping. And also we are starting with feeling the negative emotions, right? Notice I didn't tell you, oh, I tap on, oh, I want this anger to go away. I want the loneliness to go away. I don't want to feel lonely anymore. Because it's important to go in and allow ourselves to feel the negative emotion. That's what's allowing our body, our nervous system to basically bring it up, move it through and out. That's the saying we have, we need to feel it to heal it. And that's pretty much what's happening here. And the tapping is helping with all of that. If we would try this without the tapping, not saying it's not working, but it would take a heck of a lot longer. And it would be a lot more difficult. So, and Louise Hay said basically when asked about tapping, why we focus on the negative first, because we don't want to keep focusing on the negative, but we need to see it to clear it out. And Louise Hay said, well, if you want to clean your house, you need to see and notice the dirt first, right? If you go through your house and you say, oh, my house is not dirty, my house is not dirty, but you have the dust and I don't know, dead bugs flying all over the place, it's not going to get your house clean, right? So that's the situation we're having. We need to dive into the uncomfortable emotions, and I know I don't like to do that either, even though I've been tapping for a while. There's this resistance that's like, oh, I don't want to do it. That's perfectly okay. But we're working on getting you to feel a lot better by the end of this. So, all right. Tune back into your body, into that emotion that you were feeling before, and check in again how the number is doing now, maybe from just the talking and coming out of it, going back in, maybe it has changed a little bit. Face is hot and yawning a lot. Okay, yeah, that can happen. Yawning, tears, burping, farting, the tears, I call them cold tears because they're not necessarily tears that are associated with being sad, just watery eyes. That's pretty normal. That's a sign for energy moving and stuff actually clearing out. So that is a good sign. Also, changes in temperature can happen. That's also perfectly normal. All right, focus in your body where that emotion lives. Notice what's left and start tapping through the points. And see yourself in that situation in your memory again. Check if you're inside of your younger self's body. It's possible that you popped out. If that's the case, can you go back in again? If you weren't inside of your younger self and you still can't, you can try again now, but if you still can't get in, stay with her as your adult self. And look at if there's people in front of you in your memory, look at them. And see how scary are they right now. Maybe after a little bit of tapping, they're not as scary anymore, then you can bring them a little bit closer. Feel that emotion. And is there anything you need to say about the situation to those people? This could be like, what you did was not okay. How could you do that to me? Why me? How could you leave me alone? Or maybe for the situation that you were not allowed to eat, I'm hungry, I need food. It's not okay to do whatever they're doing. Basically tell them what you're doing instead whatever they're doing is not okay. I don't deserve that. How can you do that to me? This hurts. I feel so lonely. I feel abandoned. Use your own words to describe how you're feeling and how this relates to their actions. So when you leave me alone, I feel so abandoned. When you don't allow me to eat and I'm so hungry, I get so angry at you. In your own words. What do you need to tell them? What was not okay? Maybe you want to tell them, back off, don't come closer. You don't have permission to touch me. Don't hit me. You can also feel, if you feel like they're coming too close and they want to approach you physically, how it would feel to push them away. You can take both of your hands and push and say, go away, get away from me. You can push with force out in front of you. Just don't knock over your electronics. Just see if that feels good. Or see if you need to shake out your legs or stomp your feet. If you feel like you want to get out of that situation, can you let your feet run in place? And you can do that even while sitting, or you can get up and run in place. And if you want to run away, can you imagine running away while your feet are going? If you're angry, grab your trusty anger pillow, rolled up blanket, squishy ball, whatever's good to beat up, and go for it. And if you don't know yet what anger work is, today we're not going to dive into that as much as I usually do for time's sake, but you can look at other emotional eating calls. What do you need that person to know? And if you were left alone, bring the people in who left you alone and who shouldn't have left you alone and talk to them. What do you need them to know? When you got out that this is not okay, this wasn't fair, you can also tell them what you needed from them instead. For example, I needed you to stay with me and hold me and be there for me and listen. I needed you to be kind and gentle instead of rough and mean. What do you need them to know? If you're still in the process of telling them what was not okay, keep going. But if that feels like you got that out of the system, yeah, tell them what you needed instead. Maybe, oh, I needed you to show me how to do something rather than yelling at me for not being able to do it. Or maybe it's, I just need you to leave me alone. Anything else you need to say? Good. All right. Any last thing you need to get out to say to them? Either how you feel about their actions or what you needed them to do instead? Get it out. And then just send them away. You can either have them fade in the background or you can send them to the healing center if you want them to get some help, or you can send them to boot camp where they have to experience whatever they did to you. And we're just going to send them with a one-way ticket right now, so they are just out of sight, out of mind. And we leave them wherever they're going for the moment. Oh. And then take a break from the tapping. Unless you're right in the middle of something, of course, you can keep going. Shake it out. Stretch. See if you need to move your feet. Kind of If you need to get up, walk around, stretch, have a sip of water. I've started to realize food was love in my grandparents' house. Yeah, absolutely. So I started doing ball of light, piled plates high, chocolate sweets. Yeah, excellent. Good job. That's exactly how we can switch between techniques. Well done. Good, good, good. All right. For the moment, just look around your room for a moment, slowly, and notice, okay, here I am. This is my living room, my kitchen. And maybe you can find your favorite object. Maybe it's a painting, maybe it's your favorite teapot, maybe it's a plant. And then feel your feet in contact with the floor, your butt on the chair, the back of your legs on the chair, or whatever you're sitting on. Notice if your back is leaning against something. And feel that contact, that interface. And can you allow your body to really sink into the ground, into whatever's holding you up? Feel the weight, feel the grounding sensation. And once again, notice your breath. How fast or slow are you breathing? Do you notice a difference to how it was before? How about your temperature? Are you hot? Are you cold? Are you a happy medium? Notice the energy running through your body. Do you feel very energized, or do you feel like it's calming down? See if you need another sip of water. And then, whenever you're ready, imagine going back into that situation, into your memory you've been working on. I feel drained. Well, that's actually a good sign. That means you cleared out a lot and we're getting to the calm place. So after a good tapping session and a long and intense one like we are doing right here, right now, I frequently feel like I want to take a nap and I could just keel over sideways on my sofa and sleep for an hour. That's a good sign. That basically means we got all the triggering, the activation, the stress surrounding this memory out of the body. I mean, it can be a little bit inconvenient when you have to go back to work or get some stuff done for today. If that is the case, I hope you can take it a little bit easy and drink lots of water. Just know the feeling tired and drained and exhausted at the end is pretty common and it's a good sign. All right, back in your memory, tune back into your original emotion and give it a number. What's left? Is there anything left? Worth the exhaustion. I agree. Anything left? Feel in your body, feel in the spot where it was before, and maybe it has also moved around to see if there's anything anywhere in your body. A 3, a 2, 10 to 0. Great, awesome. Good work, ladies. And then maybe you want to start tapping the carotid chop point as we're just breathing into that little bit of emotion that's still there. And we send those people far, far away. They're gone. And as you tap through the points, see your younger self in front of you again. And let's bring her to a safe space. This could be your favorite space in real life, or this could be an imaginary place like a beautiful garden or the beach or the mountains or a beautiful house, a place that feels safe. And check in with little you. And little you could be also a younger version of your adult self. Little you could be you yesterday or last week. And we're gonna talk to your younger self. For a moment, see if she needs anything other than talking. Does she maybe need a hug? If so, imagine hugging her, and you can really hug yourself here. I like to kind of hug myself and still tap with one hand under the arm, but you don't have to. But just giving yourself a really good squeeze, or maybe some rocking can be nice. And you can even imagine tapping on your younger self as you're holding her. Or if that feels a little weird, you might see if it's easier if you teach her tapping and she taps on herself. And let her know, I know how you feel. I understand how you feel. Because I've been there, believe me. And I'm so sorry that you had to experience this situation and this emotion. And I'm sorry that you still feel this way. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for trusting me. I'm so sorry you ever felt this way. I love you. I love you unconditionally. And this was not your fault. Even if part of you might believe that. You did the best you could in that situation. And hindsight is always 20/20. Meaning after the fact, if we look back, we often have the feeling that we could have done better. But acknowledge that in that situation, with the resources and tools you had, you did the best you could. And you survived. You did a good job. If you didn't do that, we wouldn't be here right now. I'm so proud of you. And I love you. And I'm so sorry that I didn't come earlier to help you. But now I'm here for you. I'm here to keep you safe, to protect you. And if anybody wants something bad from you, they have to answer to me. And I'll kick their butt. I'm here for you. I love you. What else do you want your little one to know? What else does she need to know? Say it in your own words. I'll give you a little bit of space here. And maybe she needs another hug. What do you want her to know? How does she need to be comforted? Does she need another hug? Does she need a nice warm blanket? What does she need? You can even ask her, is there anything you need right now, and see what she says. Maybe she wants to go outside and play. Maybe she wants a stuffed animal. Maybe she wants a little dog. Maybe she wants some friends to not be so alone. Whatever it is, can you make it happen in your imagination? Anything is possible. We have fairy tale physics at our fingertips, as one of my mentors says. So if she wants a flying unicorn, give it to her. If she wants a magic sword to keep herself safe, give it to her. Maybe she wants someone else to come in and help, like her guardian angels, a spirit guide, a superhero. Bring them in. Whatever it is, make it happen. And then check in with little you again. How's she feeling now? How's she doing? And rate your emotion and the intensity again that you were feeling. And let's take another break. Shake it out, stretch. Oh. Rolling the shoulders is good. Shaking it out. See if you need to shake out your legs too. Get big. Stretch. If you need to get up and walk around, do that. A little bit side to side. See what feels good. Do you need to drink some water or tea, whatever you have? And then feel the ground in the chair underneath you. Feel your weight in your feet, in your butt, the back of your legs, wherever your body is in contact with something. Notice your breath. Notice if you feel like yawning your head off. That's a good sign too. Good. All right. And then start tapping through the points again. See your younger self in front of you one more time and ask her if she wants to come with you. See what she says. If she wants to stay, no big deal. Just let her know she can call you at any time and agree on a way she can reach you. Some folks like to give their little one a cell phone so she can call, or maybe she has a little bell she can ring, or maybe she wants to make your nose itch. Just choose something you two agree on, and then let her be happy wherever she is. However, if she wants to come with you, imagine shrinking her down until she fits into the palm of your hand and place her inside of your heart. And I like to place one hand on my sternum above my heart. And I invite you to tap a tapping point on the back of your hand. It's called the gamut point. And you find it when you go from your little finger. You can feel the bone going into the back of your hand and your ring finger. So you have those two bones in the back of your hand. In between, there's a little dip. And you can tap that with 2 or 3 fingers. And you can hold your hand freely floating, or I like to do that while my hand is on my heart. So you can either try this out, or you can switch back to regular tapping points whenever you feel like it. Feel little you inside of your heart, and feel all the love that's there for her. And as she is safe inside of your heart, start to let her grow up. With all the new knowledge and wisdom she gained today, you can see her walking through life, maybe with a different spring in her step, as she gets older and older. And if you're passing situations that still need some tapping, let her know you see those, but they are for another time. We've done enough for today. Keep walking past them, keep growing her up. Feel her get older and older as she is inside of your heart, loved and safe. And notice when she reaches present day, then switch to tapping through the regular tapping points if you're still in the back of your hand. When she reaches present day, allow her to merge with you, because she's you and you are her. And also allow your energy fields to merge, that bubble of energy that's surrounding you. And from the center of your heart, imagine where she was, a ball of light, healing light, that's radiating safety and self-love. Can you feel that light inside of your heart? And can you turn it up to get brighter and fill your whole chest? See that light get bigger and bigger and feel it in your chest. Can you feel your whole torso, including your belly, your pelvis? And can you make that light even bigger and brighter, radiating, filling you with safety and love, so bright that it starts flowing into your legs and arms, up your neck, into your head, flooding your brain, your nervous system. And see your whole body starting to glow. And as you turn up the light even more, see that your body can't contain it and it's bursting out of your body and your body is glowing really bright. And that light also fills that energy field, your aura surrounding your body. You can imagine it like a safe, protective bubble around you. And fill that bubble with that healing light and love and safety. Can you feel it inside of your body and outside all around you? Wrapping around you like a nice cozy blanket. Just the right temperature, just the right intensity. Maybe you want to add a little bit of color or sparkle, make it your own, what would feel good right now to fill you up in your energy field. Just keep filling up, like charging the battery, until nothing more fits in for today. And when that feels complete, I invite you to bring both of your hands together over your heart center. And take a deep breath in and then a slow exhale. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. And welcome back, ladies. How are you doing? One last time, think back to that memory. See if anything is left. And then we have the ultimate test. Get your food or imagine your food. And give me a number. Do you still want the food? On 0 to 10. 0 is I don't care, it can go straight back into the fridge. 10 would be I still want to inhale the whole thing. Something has shifted. 8 to 0. Good, excellent. Yeah. Also, one note, if you are hungry when you do this, meaning when your body needs fuel, I know for most of you it's lunchtime, it is possible that your desire for the food isn't going down to 0. That usually means, yeah, I'm truly hungry and my body needs fuel. So it can be that you still eat a little bit of that food, but you don't inhale the whole package anymore. But you might also feel like, oh, you know what? I don't want this food right now. I'd rather have something else. I want a salad with chicken, or I want whatever it is for lunch. But I invite you to notice over the next couple of days how your desire for the food develops. If it's still there, how you feel about the food, or if you just forget it in the refrigerator and next week you're like, oh my God, it's still there. That can happen. Also notice if you're still eating emotionally a lot and you're just at the beginning of your journey, that's perfectly normal. Just notice if you gravitate towards other foods. So usually if we take one food out, your desires shift and you take everything else. it's also possible when you tap on one food that it takes down a couple other foods with it. So we may or may not have to tap on all the foods we're going for with emotional eating. I want to throw these cookies out. Yay! 7 p.m. haven't eaten dinner. The taste has changed, but desire is still there. Yeah, well, then eat it, but notice if maybe it's easier to stop without being overly full. All right. I'm sending everyone so much love in this group. Thank you for showing up for yourselves and holding space. I totally agree with this. Thank you, Corey. And I thank you, ladies. It is already 6 minutes past the hour. I still have another 3-4 minutes if you still have a question. However, if you need to get off the call and move on with your day, please go ahead. But yeah, if you still have a question, now is the time. Raise your hand. Everybody's so tapped out. No more questions. All right. Good work, ladies. Stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and also it's totally normal to be tired and exhausted now. This can also drag over into the next day. Or you can wake up and feel a little bit grumpy. That's what we call a tapping hangover. This is also perfectly normal after working on a big thing. Basically, you can just tap for 2-3 minutes. Tapping and breathing is a good one if you have tapping hangover, but give your body a day rest. So don't do the next push the food away probably until the day after. Our brain and nervous system still need some time to integrate and even keep up the rewiring. Some changes are still happening after we tap for about 24-48 hours. So be easy and gentle with yourself. And then we have a question when it's the self-sabotage. Then you basically give that little rebellious voice in your head a voice, and you tap while you talk it out loud. So that could look like, oh my God, I just want to eat the food. And you can't stop me. I just want the food because it tastes good and because I can have it. And you can just fuck yourself. If you want to stop eating this delicious chocolate, you can. Just give it to me. I'll eat it for you. And this is my chocolate. I'm not sharing. You just leave me alone. I'm going to eat as much of this as I want whenever I want. And I have 5 bars of chocolate in my house. I'm going to eat them all right now. I can just inhale them within 5 seconds. And you can't stop me. Just fuck you. Watch me. I'm going to do it right in front of your nose. And I don't care if you get upset and you can yell at me. You can just go fuck yourself. There's the door. I'm going to eat it anyways. And if I manage to eat all those 5 bars of chocolate and I want more, I'll go to the store. And if you're in the US, it's even open 24/7, all 7 days, so you don't even have the problem that it's Sunday and you can't get some. I'll just buy all the chocolate that's in the store and I'm gonna eat it. Just watch me. I refuse to give it up, and you can't stop me. I don't want to give this up. Just fuck you. So basically, you throw this little temper tantrum, and you tap while you do it, and you have fun with it. That's self-sabotage, basically working on rebellion and resistance to our authority figure. That's the self-sabotage module if you want to know more. How does one get to members ever? Oh, give me a second. I can pull up the link for you. See? And paste. That is the link to our membership website. That works on a computer. If you're on a mobile device, so your phone or an iPad, we also have the app that is called My Tapping app, and you get it in your app store, and it's a little dark pink icon. And the login is for both the app and the membership site in a browser. It's your email you signed up with for the program as the login name, and it's also the email as your password. Important is that you click the sign in button and not the sign up button. Sign up is a big button and sign in is a little small and white. Oh, and Facebook, I can't join. Wait, I'll post you the, give me 1 second. Facebook. Basically, to get into the tapping circle group, you have to click join, and then it's asking you for your email address. This is the Facebook group. And basically, you need to wait for us to approve you, because we check your email address that you're really a member and you signed up, and then you should gain access. If that doesn't happen within, let's say, 2 days, then please email to support@brittanywatkins.com, because then there might be a tech hiccup, and then our team can help you there. Alrighty, any more questions? Tech or otherwise? Yeah, Jane, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a little, the ball of light. So I guess I'm a little confused. When do you use the ball of light? Is that like, because I'm more like, this is a good session because I'm more of an emotional eater. But I'm a little confused on the ball of light.
Yeah. The ball of light is our technique for cravings. A craving is a desire for food that's fueled by a positive emotion or positive memory. Like wanting to eat the chocolate chip cookies you used to bake with your grandma because you're craving grandma's love.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, positive emotion, positive memory is a craving, and that means ball of light. Because basically what we're doing is we are taking the positive emotions out of the food into the ball of light, and then we share it with that person from our memory.
Okay.
And the emotional eating technique that we did today is the push the food away technique, also called echo tapping. And this is when you're basically having a negative emotion or negative memory there.
Okay. Okay. Now, what if you have like a bunch of different foods? I mean, I don't have any memories connected to any foods really. But that sometimes there are certain foods but I don't have like a memory connected to it.
Yeah. Yes. It sounds like you're more of an emotional eater, going away from negative emotions. So I would say start with the push the food away technique. And you should have that, I think in most programs it's in the bonus section. It's like 17 or 18-minute binge eliminator echo tapping audio. That's the one to use, where Brittany guides you through the process.
Okay. Amazing.
And yeah, so basically the pushing the food away and allowing us to feel the negative emotions. In the beginning, we don't know what the memory is, and sometimes you don't even know what the emotion is. It just feels like general static or anxiety. And I always say anxiety is like a cover-up blanket to hide whatever emotion is actually underneath. So you just feel this inside of your body, where it is, how you know it's there. Is it like a twisting in the stomach? Do you feel like you have this big lump in your throat? Does it feel like your hair is on fire? Does your little toe itch? Whatever it is, feel in the body where it lives, how you know it's there as you're tapping. And that basically leads to eventually guiding you to the memory that's underneath.
Okay.
And probably for you in most cases that will be a negative one, but if a positive one pops up, then you would switch techniques and do the ball of light.
Okay. Okay.
And also, yeah, for the ball of light, for the cravings, if you don't know the situation when you first ate the food or who you ate the food with, it basically works the same way. Tune into the positive emotions you associate with the food, because usually there's like a warm, happy feeling you get just thinking about the food, right? If you feel that in your body and sit with it for a moment as you tap, usually the memory pops up.
Okay.
Can take a minute or two, but usually something's there.
Okay.
Also, if you don't have an actual person associated with it or nothing comes up, you can also share the ball of light with your younger self. That's my favorite. when you remember eating that food when you were younger. Or maybe it's a certain situation or a certain place. I mean, I used to live in the US for a couple of years in San Diego in California. So there's certain foods, Mexican, Californian food associated with that I'm craving when I miss being in San Diego. So basically, I do the
Okay.
ball of light with a place.
Mhm.
You can do it with a tree, you can do it with a pet, you can do it with an actual person that's present in your life right now that you like to eat the food with, or generally that feels safe. Those are some options if you don't know an actual person connected to the good feelings in the food.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, Iman's iPhone, go ahead.
Thank you. So, for me, another addiction I have is that I feel like I usually have to watch or at least listen to something while I eat. And it's very, very distressing
Yeah.
and stressful for me to like not be doing something at the same time as I'm eating. And I know it makes me less present with the food and numbs me out a little bit, but it's like I have to have something in my ear. And uh, and so related to my other question, where I was, we talked about the 3 meals a day to avoid confusing hunger cues with emotional eating.
Yeah.
I feel like even for my main meals, I need to listen to something. So, how would I approach tapping
Yeah.
on the watching or the listening? Would that be maybe only when I'm emotionally eating, or?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I can totally relate. Has happened to me too. So basically, here again, we want to not do the behavior we want to stop. So that means you get your food and you keep yourself from switching on the TV or the music or whatever you're listening to. And then you feel for the uncomfortable emotions coming up and you start tapping. And then you let those emotions take you back in time and then you do the echo tapping. Just like we
Okay.
did, but instead of pushing the food away, you just turn off the TV or the music. Because it
Okay.
probably won't take long to sit in silence until negative emotions come up. I mean, you say already, I can't even stand just
Yeah.
not having anything. Basically, tune into that I can't stand that feeling and let that take you back in time.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I think this is one of those things that it's big enough for me that it'll be like worth it to do, even if I'm doing it during a main meal. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would do it, try it with a main meal, because the thing is, you're not tapping on the food, you're tapping on the audio, video, whatever input goes
Yeah.
in the ears. So you can absolutely have your meal. I mean, you do the tapping, and then you still have your
Mhm.
meal, and you're going to eat the meal, but see if you can do this after the tapping without turning anything on.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
would be
Beautiful.
your challenge.
Right. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Alrighty, ladies. I hope I answered all your questions. This was quite a deep dive here. Thank you all for being here, for sharing your energy, for holding space, for doing the hard work. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you're feeling better. Be gentle and easy with yourself for the rest of the day and tomorrow. Drink plenty of water, and I will see you soon. Bye, ladies.